Simone Biles. Now, we haven't got a chance to watch this because they'll air it tonight on prime time. Simone Biles, I guess, bowed out of the team competition in the finals. They end up going on to win silver. Spoiler, they end up going on to win silver. Allegedly, something happened. I think it was at the vault. I'm not sure. Maybe, I think it was at the vault where while she was attempting to do something, she said she couldn't see anything and she barely, I think she landed on her knees or something like that. This comes after a floor routine and also another vault thing the other night, and also the Olympic trials day 2, where Simone has not had her absolute best performances. In the team competition though, her saying, I am nowhere near at my best right now. I can't figure out how to fucking land, and bowing out and people attacking her for that is insane to me. People thinking that it was selfish of her or cowardly of her to back out whenever she thought she was going to cost her team in Suni, in Childs, and the other gymnasts that probably aren't going to be around as long as Simone was. And she was either mentally, physically, whatever the case, was going through something and saying, I'm not going to be the reason that these Olympic dreams are fucked completely. Now, she has not backed out of the individual events yet, which she still has a bunch to compete for and everything like that. But I think her, acknowledging that she was going through something, being the GOAT that she is at the age of 24, and she put a post up basically that says she feels like on a lot of different occasions that she has the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she normally is able to brush it off and keep it moving, but she even said, I feel it. The amount of pressure that she has had in a sport where if you bobble, I talked about it yesterday, that in the Olympics, if you train your entire life, every meal you eat, every decision you make is to make you better at whatever niche thing you're doing for the Olympics. And you have no idea if you're going to make it. Okay, that it doesn't happen until 3.5, 4 years down the road whenever you finally get to the age of being able to compete, even though you've already done it your entire life. You're going to make no money until you get there. So you have to blindly commit at an addiction level almost to this thing that you have no idea if it's ever going to come to fruition. You have no clue. You just got to hope that you'll be able to outcompete, outduel. In swimming, it comes down to 0.2 of a fucking second between winning gold in the Olympics and not even getting on the podium. The room for error in some of these sports is criminal. I mean, it is insanity to have your entire life. So if she's going through anything mentally or any doubt at all, and she thinks she's going to screw over some of her teammates and potentially ruin the team and then ruin everything else, I think it was very noble of her to do such a thing. And I want to let Simone know that, hey, the only reason why the pressure of the world is on your shoulders is because you're so goddamn good, okay? The expectations are the expectations because you are the standard in this entire thing. And I would like to say that it is very awesome to see somebody at your level acknowledge that you're going through some stuff. You might maybe have a little doubt in yourself, but what you need to realize, and I felt obligated to tweet this to you this morning, and I think we all should be, you are the greatest of all time, and anything that happens in Tokyo will not be remembered. What you have done to the sport of gymnastics, what you have added to the sport of gymnastics, will be remembered and heralded forever. So if you're going through it, we understand. We hope you come out of it. We hope you get good, and we hope you find that confidence in yourself again to continue to be the GOAT. But if you don't, hell of a run, Simone.
Congrats, Simone, boy.
Hold that head high, lady. You changed the whole fucking game. Plus, whenever you hear her story with everything that she's gone through and the commitment and level, and it's just, I'm super pumped. Idiots on the internet, though.
Yeah, they have no clue.
Idiots on the internet are just, what?
Quitter?
What she
Come
do?
on.
What she do?
Get on the beam.
What she do? She changed the sports. It's been around since fucking the Greeks were running around there. Completely changed the game. Better than everybody. She has bad days, and they're still better than everybody else because what she's attempting to do is absolute insanity. She talked about being 24 years old and how her body is much different than it was whenever she was a teenager. I think that potentially could get in there and be a seed of doubt. Yeah. And I've heard her openly talk about it, and I was like, okay, so she is acknowledging that there's maybe something going on. Then the other night, whenever she had, not her greatest performance, I think and this is going to sound so weird, but if you looked at her face, I think you saw like a different Simone Biles than like the potential, hey, killer swag Simone Biles that you saw. I think it was apparent that there was potentially something going on. We just hope that she gets back to being great, because the Olympics are a beautiful time, and her getting to showcase to the world that she's the greatest of all time is something I would like her to be able to do one last time, or maybe even again whenever she's 28. But we're all with her, hoping she gets through this thing.
For sure. And I think it was she did like an interview, a while back, and it was starting to circle around, and they asked her like, hey, what are you most excited for about the Olympics? And she was like, when it's over. Like when I'm done doing this and I don't have the weight of the world on my shoulders anymore. So like she obviously, she's probably been struggling with that for years now.
She was wearing goat slides, and the internet killed her, right? Because whenever you do that, you're acknowledging, okay, that you're the GOAT. And by the way, I'm pumped that she has. I'm pumped that she did. I hope all athletes do. But a lot of people fell back on that today whenever she decided to drop out because she was not at her absolute best and didn't want to screw over her teammates in a team competition where we don't know if those people will be back on the team. We have no idea if they'll be back in the Olympics again. We hope so, by the way. There's a lot of people gunning for that spot, though, next to Simone Biles there. Her not wanting to ruin it, I think, was great. But a lot of people said, well, you can't wear those slides and then do what you did. It's like, hey, how about this? GOATs go through some shit every once in a while as well. And in the era of mental health and everything like that, understand that every single mental health awareness, not the era of mental health, mental health awareness, everybody can go through some things, everybody can get into some doubt. And I think I heard that she potentially ADD or ADHD or something like that. As somebody who is nowhere near the level of her, but maybe potentially similar brain operations and that thing, once you get one little negative thought, there's a chance that those can go ahead and continue to go. And there's a chance that I think that Simone needs to be reminded that she's a badass. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She's best ever.
Yeah, like, hey, I think because I think even the GOATs can get into their brains, especially if it's one that is very active, which an ADD brain is, and start saying things. And I don't know if that's what it is. I'm just saying that there was a time where I think I had a perfect season going into the last game. Missed 2 kicks. People told me I was the worst, wanted me to die. I thought about it. I never wanted to kick a football again. And I'm not saying I'm anywhere near what Simone Biles' level was, but I know how you can have a lot of success and then have a little bit of failure and then all of a sudden start to potentially doubt yourself a little bit. It's getting through that, hopefully, and reminding and being, not being reminded, but remembering that you're the GOAT. I hope that happens for Simone before the individual events, because it would be awesome to see her walk out in those slides and go, fuck you, and just win that whole goddamn thing. That's what I'm pulling for.